That's nice. That's nice. Keep the hearts coming. All those love hearts emojis. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I am a sucker for that. So let's get some more hearts there and some more likes and hearts. That's it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. More hearts. More hearts. Yes. That's my drug. That gets me high. I get to that stage when I see the likes and the hearts and the comments. Yep, that's it. That's it. Hmm. Now I'm ready for action. One second. Something in my eye. Don't let me stop you. Keep the hearts coming. That's it. I'm Dr. Prasad. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. It's Sunday. Sunday, the first day of the week. What's on my agenda for today? Yesterday I thought, let me relax my brain and come fresh and talk with you today. But there are a few things that I want to talk about, a few things that concerns me. Whatever I talk about on this show, it is because it deeply concerns me. I don't just talk for talk's sake. So what concerns me is to appeal to the common sense of the intelligent part of the Guyanese people. Just a small portion of the population is stupid. So I'm not concerned about that stupidity, because that stupidity is inherent to their genetics. There isn't anything that I can do. There is no recommendation I can make to help in reforming those who are stupid. There's nothing. All I have to do, and what I'm asking for you to do, is to ignore the stupid one, unfortunately, that lives amongst you. In your neighborhood, you have to take the buses with them. You have to take the plane with them. You have to take the boat with them. You have to walk in the market and look at them. But if it's up to me, they would be isolated in some other remote part of the country and just be treated there. But what it reminds me of is that the leader of the stupid part of Guyana, when you look at him, I thought that he was a thing of the past. I thought that he was gone, baby, gone. But he saw an opportunity, because of the fact that Ajruddin and his father would soon be out of the country. He saw an opportunity to make inroads and to dominate the opposition, the three opposition parties in the parliament, and to somehow work his way up or influence his way up to being elected the opposition leader. And I make reference to Aubrey Norton. He was actually out of politics because he did not believe, and by virtue of the fact that he did not support the initiative and the steps to get the Mohammeds into the justice system of the Americans, he thought that they would be hidden away in Guyana, and therefore his legacy as Aubrey Norton's legacy is over. But since he saw that the Mohammeds are going to leave the country, he somehow is sneaking and trying to have some kind of relevance into the political world of Guyana. But the unfortunate thing about this Norton guy, the leader of the stupid population, that represents a 1% of the Guyanese nation. When you look at Aubrey Norton, because the other day I saw a news item with him, and when I look at Aubrey Norton, I ask myself the question, Guyana today, I mean this year, Guyana would be celebrating 60 years of independence from the British. Okay? When you go to Coffee Square at the Mandela place there, when you go there, you are seeing a representation of the abolishment of slavery. Because Coffee, according to the historical records, he was largely responsible for the rebellion and subsequent abolition of slavery. But when you look at Norton in 2026, you can't help asking the question, is slavery over? Has it really been abolished? There is no way that Norton can embody the spirit of Coffee, because the spirit of Coffee is one of a fighter, not a loafer, not an opportunist. But Norton's face reminds you that slavery still exists. You look at the man's face and you can literally see the embodiment, the impression of the slaves back in the day. That's how they look. Miserable. He constantly reminds black people of slavery. This is why they didn't want him. And he didn't get the message. They voted them out of the opposition because of Norton's slave-like looks. He walks like a slave. He looks like a slave. He talks like a slave. I don't understand the guy. Norton, retire. There are other people in the PNC that represents freedom, abolition. They represent that, but you are just constantly reminding the people that this thing is still there. This is why President Ali is pushing for reparations, because of you, Norton. He had to deal with you as opposition leader for 5 years. And every time he sees you, he feels guilty. He feels guilty as if he was a slave master and he enslaved the slaves in the 1800s and the 1700s. So Ali has to keep pushing for reparations for black people. Because of you, Norton, you should retire. Now, making note of that, there is a conspiracy. And by the way, just for you to start thinking about it, listen. From my sources, I have good sources, trusted sources. You see, President Irfan Ali, he is the king. President Irfan Ali, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in State House as in the Parliament. President Irfan Ali. But one of the things I'm asking you, President Irfan Ali, is this: whether what I heard is true or not, in every rumor, there is some truth. Gossip is an actual breach of a promissory arrangement. Because when people gossip, it tells you that they broke some kind of arrangement, because that's why they have to gossip. Gossip is intended to be said in a secret setting, but amongst the public. And that means that what they're saying, they're not supposed to say, because they made a deal that they would not break that trust in whatever they know or they were allowed to know. So if this gossip is true, that I've been privy to, President Ali, don't you dare And some of those fuck-ups like to say, why do you talk to the president like that? I'm talking to the president like this now. President Ali, don't you dare pardon the Mohammeds. Don't you dare, President Ali. I've been hearing stuff. I have been hearing stuff. And I'm telling you, whether you pardon them or not, they're still going. And the Mohammeds need to understand, if they clear off their debts to the country, Guyana, it doesn't mean that a crime against the country is solved. It is not for them to determine how much they pay. It is for the GRA and the legal system, the courts of Guyana, to determine and decide what their debt is. The Mohammeds can't suggest how much they think they should pay back the country. The courts decides that. And since the case is suspended, because they don't want them to have any burden to carry along to the federal system, the Guyanese people will collect every cent that was stolen, robbed from the treasury via the non-payment of tax and fraudulent deals. Every cent, Mohammed, you're going to pay back the Guyanese people. I need my cut. Yes. When you pay back the Guyanese people, then I'm going to register for the cash grant, because I know the grant is coming from your money that you were supposed to pay and that you actually paid. But no pardons. Yes, I heard it's been discussed in the camp of the Mohammeds that they want to approach, they want to lobby. They actually understand that war exists, those numbskulls, especially that fucking Paki shell. Imagine his mind can come up with an idea of lobby. They know that war exists. That's a tough word. You got to be a primary school graduate to start understanding that word. So the former Pan's Length seller, I'm not saying that selling Pan's Length is not a good business. It's a clean business. But if you're going to go from doing such a noble profession by selling Pan's Length for men like me to sew our suits and things like that, if you're going to go from that to concocting an entire scheme to defraud the government, to smuggle drugs, firearms, gold, people, that's another thing altogether. So Shell, no pardon. The president of Guyana cannot issue pardons for crimes committed against the American government. Ali can't pardon you for the shit you did against the Americans. Trump got to do that. And since Trump is not into the business of pardoning drug smugglers, you got to follow your boss, Maduro. So there's no pardon. Your people told me, sources within the Mohammed camp told me they're floating around the idea of making a deal with the government of Guyana so they can use that. They can use that to lobby the Americans to drop the case against them, to say they're complying with the local system, they're doing their dues, even stepping down as leader of the Win Party. Even that. But holding on to being its founder and chairman. All of this has been discussed within the Win camp. Trying to get a pardon, Azruddin stepping aside as opposition leader, meaning that he will not be seeking swearing in. This David Hines' daughter, And don't bother with the nonsense David Hines is talking about. Don't worry that. That's a sham. That's a sham. But his daughter would assume the role of the leader of WIN, but Azudine would retain being the chairman and founder and holding all the power of the party. But he would not be representing the party in the parliament. He would be in the background, pulling the strings. So all of the members of WIN have to sign on to that. That's their new constitution. Pending that this whole thing goes through, that Ali pardons them, and they use whatever leverage they have to lobby the American State Department to get the justice system to work some arrangement out where they're going to pay off whatever penalties they have to pay to the American government and get that thing away from them. Then they're clean, then the slate is clean. Guyana, there is no crime because they have a pardon. Then the American, they made a deal, so there's nothing there, and they can start afresh. That is what they are trying to come up with now, because it's over for them. They know it. I know it. Guyana knows it. That it's over for the Mohammeds. They have messed up really, really bad. The only one thing that they had, the one thing that they had that could have helped them in some way to remain safe in Guyana was their leverage over the black people. That's the one thing they had. And Shell fucked it up. Yes, he took it for granted. He thought he is the king and his son is the prince of the ghettos. No more. You were fired, Azudine. They fired your dumbass. They fired you because of your stupid father. And they also knew that you were a hypocrite. You don't think they knew that? Azudine, the black people in the ghettos that you went and tried to seduce and try to use and all kinds of stuff, they know that you were faking it. They know that. Because I tell them, and other people told them. They know. So this is why you only could have gotten them by money. And it was never voluntarily. Because they know you're a hypocrite, you're a hoax, you're fake. And since your father crossed the line and further made them feel like filth, that did it. That did it. So there is nobody else now, nobody who wants to hear from you, Azudine. Nobody wants to hear from you. You are a total waste. You are a waste. You are the scum of the scums. Nobody wants to hear from you. Your only hope right now is begging the president. Lord, I suggested before, and you should start doing this. Get a picture of Ali. Get a picture where he's swearing in, you know, and on the Quran and his, yeah. Get that picture. Blow it up. Remove that nonsense that you have as a blown up profile of yourself. Remove it. Replace it with the picture of President Ali. And make a selfie. Take a selfie next to it. And post it on social media. I'm going to share it for you. I'll be happy to make a nice comment and I'll share it. Then the president will see. And he would smile. He would say, oh my gosh, they actually love me. I wonder what they want this time. Then you can approach him and ask for a pardon. You won't get it, but you can try. Because nobody else in Guyana wants to hear anything from you, Azudine, nor your father. If you people were selling food, if you had a restaurant, your restaurant will go out of business because the blacks wouldn't even trust you to come and buy from you anymore. But since the businesses that you have doesn't directly require black patronage, that's another thing. But all them black people that you have on your staff, they should quit. But they wouldn't do that because they don't have balls. They don't have balls. They lack self-esteem. They lack soul. And they have no pride. So they wouldn't quit. But if those black people that you have on your staff, including those security guards that are blocking bullets from you, if they had any sense of personal value, or I am proud to be a black man, they should resign, retire, and quit, and leave you to yourself to see which Indian you can replace them with. That's what they need to do. All of them need to quit, you dumbass, and let us see which Indo-Guyanese will take their place for you. Because the Indo-Guyanese are smarter, much smarter, so you can't get them with the deals that you get those blacks. That's why you can cuss the blacks how you wish. You can treat them like dogs. You treat the dogs in your house better than you treat the blacks who work for you. But I want to see you try doing that to the Indo-Guyanese. You can't. They wouldn't fall for it. They wouldn't take your deal. So go ahead. Beg the president. I'll know, because my sources gets me information up to date. So I'm going to know if you do. And like I said before, and I reiterate, don't you dare, President Ali, to even respond to a request from these assholes to be pardoned. Don't you dare. Now, David Hines, you hypocrite. You coming out and saying what you're saying against Shell Mohammed. All of you are talking because I criticize the man. You don't have balls. You're stringing on to the balls I have. All of you so-called Negroes that are coming out and criticizing and condemning Shell Mohammed is because I did it. You're stringing on. Don't hang on my strength. Don't do that. Because I said before, and I mean this. You see how many times I'm repeating this? I'm repeating this so many times. I am not a black man. I am not a black man. I identify as Indian. And because I'm a Guyanese citizen, I'm Indo-Guyanese. When I go to the immigration and stuff like that, they don't have to ask those questions. But if anybody asks me, I'll put on the fucking paper, Indo-Guyanese. Let them refuse it. You don't determine what I am. I determine what I choose to identify as. So if I come out and I criticize this asshole Shell Mohammed for his racist rant and the derogatory statements against black people, is because I criticize things like that. It ain't doing black people a favor. If it was against Chinese, I'll still criticize it. If it was against white, because I don't stand for those shit. I don't stand for it. So it doesn't matter who it is, I would condemn it. So don't think I did black people a favor. Anybody talk against any race like that, I'm going to fuck them up. I'm not dumb like that. I criticize the actions of black people, the actions. But as people, I wouldn't do that. They're human beings. But the fact that they're the ones that carry the most numbers in terms of murder, they're the ones that are terrorizing society. They're the criminals. They're the stupidest ones in the country, the laziest. They don't create anything. They don't invent anything. They don't build anything. They don't own anything. That's what I have a problem with, their actions. But if the blacks can step up and compete and listen to people like Shell to know that Shell's business, his so-called empire, only became what it became because of black people. Think about the days when they start doing their mining. Who were their miners? Who were the people working for the Shell people in the interior? Who? Indo-Guyanese? No, they were the managers. Who are digging the way up, holding the drudges and the whores, and who are doing it? All the businesses Shell built. Who were the people who were the foundation of the businesses? Black people. That fucking asshole. Black people. And for him to come back today and think he is invincible, he's the king of the niggas, and to say what he said about go work for your matty black man. They have a few of them. It's derogatory. It's disrespectful. Disrespectful. Because Guyana has more than just a few blacks in business. More than just a few. Many. Hundreds. So for Shell to reduce them to just a few, it means that he thinks he's bigger than everybody else. No businessman who's smart, no matter if he has sentiments like that, he would never reveal it. He would talk about that at his dinner table with his children and his wife, but not amongst his friends, not over the telephone. No business person does that because they know they could be recorded, they could be quoted, information can be leaked. They don't do that. It's bad for business, it's bad for politics. And for Shell to have done that, it's tell that he has no regard, absolutely no fucking regard for Afro-Guyanese. He don't care because there is no consequence. So David Hines, listen to me. You are an asshole because Shell is referring to you. Aubrey Norton, Campbell, Sherrod Duncan, name them. You are the one Shell is referring to. And that low-life prostitute, Smelly Smell. The lowest of the fucking low. Because the man's father cost her and all them niggas that they're paying, and the fact that they're not getting the help they need, they're still going to prison, and the Negroes are threatening to squat on the land that Shell claims he owns, government land, and the Negroes come for handouts, keep coming for handouts. Every time they want something, they want sponsorship, they want funds, they want this, they want that. The man is tired of it. All his life he's been giving all of this to them niggas, and now he has to go to prison, and none of these niggas are willing to take the bait for him. And you have Smelly Smell and all of these lunatics, Burke and all of these others, who are still accepting the cursed money, coming out and are defending this man, defending Azzuddin Mohammed still, and black people are still listening to those idiots. This is why I have to keep saying what I say about blacks. The actions of the black people to keep supporting Smelly Smell financially and all of these others, in light of the fact that her boss, his father, costs all of them, including her. And she's still coming out and pushing fake news that she receives from the Mohammeds against the president, who no one in Guyana, no one can point a finger at and accuse him of being a racist. No one. You can say what you want to say about President Ali, but calling him a racist is something that you can never fucking do. Never do. The man loves black people more than he loves his own kind. And you're seeing the evidence. So the Melly Mel and the David Hines, they are hypocrites. David Hines is a hypocrite. Now he's happy that the Mohammeds are going down, of course, because his daughter is going to assume that role. That is if the man don't get pardoned. That's if the Mohammeds don't get pardoned. Because if they get pardoned, that's it. But Ajruddin can't get rid of them because it's a constitutional thing. They were elected to parliament, so he can't get rid of them. He can't dissolve the party. He has to wait until the next election, but he wouldn't be around for that. The point I'm making here is David Hines is building a momentum. He's building a position for his daughter. Because if he is criticizing the Mohammeds and his daughter is soon to be opposition leader, he's now pushing this idea that he's neutral, that he stands with his party. He's against this thing. No, he's not. It's politics. And as you know, he's a hypocrite. That's one man you can't believe. Ever. He's a PNC, he's a Bornamite, and the Win party are PNC's Bornamite, and the next leader of Win is a PNC, a Bornamite, and these are the people that represent the 1% stupid Negroes in the country. They represent them. This thing that the Smelly Smell is pushing online is Suzanne Rodriguez. Rodriguez, yeah. The name is so complicated, man, just like the woman. Is it Rodriguez? Rodriguez. Fuck, Rodriguez, yeah, whatever. It's a Suzanne is a feminine name. It's the name of a girl. It's a female name. Because when you make a baby, during pregnancy, for mothers, when you hear, I'm sorry, but you're pregnant, no, there's nothing to be sorry about. What are you getting? A boy, a girl, a homosexual, or a lesbian? Which one? You never hear that. What you hear is a boy or a girl. When that baby comes, the mother never says, when she's like breastfeeding, oh my gosh, you look so masculine. I hope you grow up to be a lesbian. Oh my gosh, you look so feminine. I hope you grow up to be a gay. Never hear that. Every newborn baby, every parent never envision their boy child or their girl child grow up to become a homo or a lesbian. Never, ever. So it is always devastating, disappointing when a parent have to confront that news that their child come and tell them, oh, daddy, this, and mommy, this. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. So when you think that you want to grow up and live to become whatever it is, know what you're doing to your parents. Because if your mother, this is a general statement, if your mother hated men and she likes to grind or rub or eat pussy, she wouldn't fuck a dick and get pregnant to make you. If your father hated women and he likes to suck on dicks or take it in his ass, he would never sleep with a woman to make babies to get you. I don't care what they do after, because a lot of them make children and they're bitter with men, they go and they grind. A lot of the men, anyway, the information that this prostitute is expounding on, and she has all of these pea-brain Negroes sharing it online about something about some property on the East Bank, and the president said to whoever, undo the process, and then the land was sold for $1 million, and then they had to clean the money, and then somebody from this company. My friends, my loyal supporters, engage your common sense. Smelly Smell is a lowlife. a lowlife who sucks dicks for a living. Who in the hell is going to give her that information? Who? Who's going to give her that information? You think she has that influence to call anybody within the president's camp or the Ministry of Housing and ask those questions? No. Then who gave it to her? Who has an axe to grind with Suzanne Rodriguez? Who does? President Ali? People around President Ali? No. Azruddin Mohammed. He is the one who is sending that information to Smelly Smell. Because nobody believes him. He wants to get the black people on his side. So he's using these fools to push his fake news. So all that information that she's bringing out and talking about president this, how the fuck, for you to know that a president, even if you suggest, call somebody and say, hey, undo this thing. It meant the person who he called told somebody else, and that somebody else told Mohammed that, hey, the president got to understand that this Suzanne person or whoever, which CEO, director, did something fraudulent with this land, and the president ordered them to undo it, but this is what they did. There is nothing authentic about it. They want to add on to the lie to make it sound believable. But it's a lie. It's called gossip. It's a fucking lie. No, I'm not here to defend Suzanne. Suzanne said she came from humble beginnings and she met money. The question is, Guyanese, who do you rather thief from you? The PNC or the PPP? Who do you rather? When the PNC steals, they don't give anything back. They don't build anything. They don't give anything. When the PNC stole for 28 years, how many black people got rich? How many black people got rich during the Burnham time? And they had access to a lot. How many? What did they do? What were the people of Burnham? What did they do with the monies they stole from the country under Burnham for 28 years? They spent every cent out traveling, fucking, making kids, traveling, fucking, making kids. They didn't save anything. They didn't invest anything. They didn't build anything. So at the end of his reign, they were all broke. Fighting Chetty, fighting Janet, and they have been fighting every PPP president since. Now you talk about the PPP corrupt and they steal whatever it is. But look at what the PPP has done for Guyana since Jagdeo. Look at what the People's Progressive Party has done for Guyana since Barra Jagdeo. So if the People's Progressive Party is stealing, then they're not stealing much. They're just taking a cutback, a small, very small percent to put gas in their car. Because they can't build Guyana so much by stealing the resources. Look at Guyana before Irfan Ali. Even Ramatar. I mean, he's a loser, but look at his from Jagdeo to Ramatar. Look at how fast Guyana transformed under Jagdeo and Ramatar without any oil, under sanctions, under the stain of corrupt and crime and all these kinds of things. Look at how Guyana transformed. How many people left Guyana? for 5 years under the PNC. Show me one thing they built. One thing that they built. And the oil started to flow under the PNC. The only thing that you can see, as in that the PNC built, is that overpass on the East Bank. I hope they demolished it. Yeah, I think they did, because when I was there, I didn't see it. That's all they built for 5 years. That's where the money went. Nothing else. They didn't build housing schemes. You can't call that bill. The little houses they give out, you can't call that bill, because they give that to the ex-chicks. The ex-chicks, the new chicks, and the chicks they want to fuck. So if you're talking about corruption, ignore the Mohammeds. Their entire empire represented corruption. Their entire empire. Forget them. But I want you to understand this, Guyanese. From 2020 to now, all these claims they're talking about, Ali this or the Ali government this, and the only two persons who seem to be making the headlines from the opposition, I mean, Azriddin Mohammed, is Mustafa and Suzanne Rodriguez. That's it. And these people have justified their income, where they got it from. So where is the corruption in the People's Progressive Party? Where is it? All the government is doing around the country, roads, airstrips, everything is about to boost business in the country. Business generate employment, which generate income, which generate economy. That's the mentality of an Indian president. As Jagdeo says, we don't borrow to eat. We borrow to invest. Powerful statement. So Guyanese, bear one thing in mind. You might be bitter because you might hate Ali because he's good looking, he's young. You might be jealous because you're jealous of his wife. You see yourself there, you think you can be a better first lady. I understand all of that shit. We're humans, I get it. You're jealous of Jagdeo because he's 60 and he's still young. I get it. But think about this. Would you rather the PNC steal from the country or the PPP? When the PPP steals, they build the country with the stolen money. When the PNC steals, they fuck your sons, they fuck your wives, and they fuck your daughters, and they leave you starved. Which do you prefer? I would say give me the PPP. Because all politicians will steal. But I rather the PPP steal. Because you don't want the Mohammeds. They stole 191 billion. Okay. Our secret is the president. Our secret weapon is President Ali. He's the secret of Guyana. When you look good, when you're smart, when you're rich, people ask, hey, what's your secret? Well, when they ask you as Guyanese, wow, I see your country is booming. Everything is fine. Wow, I love that. Nice. All these, you see the Christmas skunt guy is back with his son? Yeah, the Christmas skunt. All of them coming to show some shit from Guyana. Minister of Tourism, Suzanne, let these people get fucking permits. When they ask you, Guyana is really going places, say yes. What's your secret? Really? Is it a secret? I think everybody knows who the president is. Ain't no secret about that. But since you think it's a secret, I'll tell you, the secret to our progress and our beautification and our genius is our king. Lord President Irfan Ali. Give the man the right title. The man is Lord. Lord. President Irfan Ali, the king, who I hope would not pardon the lunatics from the Mohammeds family, Shell and his gay son, Azruddin. The world is in trouble. World War III is right on the horizon. Trump talked about World War III for so many times. Every time World War III, he knows why he was saying that. Because it might begin. We might see the third World War this year. It's building up to that because the regime, the country that was also feared as much as China and Russia is Iran. And Iran is right now in a hostage situation. The Iranians are blaming Trump. The Russians, the South Africans, and the Chinese are blaming Trump. Right now, the Russians, the South Africans, and the Chinese are having a joint military exercise in the Gulf, waiting for something. Trump told the Iranians, if you kill your people, I'm going to bomb you. The Iranian government said to Trump, if you drop one bomb in this country, we are going to attack every port that America has. What does that mean? If the Americans attack Iran tomorrow, Iran said they would retaliate and attack American posts. They're going to attack Israel. They're going to attack all the bases of the Americans in Africa and the Middle East. What does that mean? It means the war began. The Third World War. The Americans also give orders to the Americans in Venezuela to leave Venezuela. Why? The second wave of attack is imminent. They're going to attack Venezuela again. And that will be destructive. So if they attack Venezuela next week, this week, and they attack Iran this week, and the Iranians responded by attacking Israel and American bases, that's the Third World War begin. And that is not good news. It will be devastating. They will use nuclear weapons in this war. It's not good news. There's also these protests in America. A protest that is unjustifiable, because we saw the woman attacked the ICE agent. She drove her vehicle to hit the ICE agent. The man shot her in self-defense. We saw the other video where the man was recording, documenting his job. And one of the women, wife on wife, two lesbians, was provoking the agent, the officer. You saw that. And about to get into the vehicle while the other one stepped on the gas and was approaching the agent. The man didn't have a choice. It was justifiable shooting. They used that. The blacks, the Democrats, used that, even though they all saw the man did not do anything unjust. They all saw that. But for their hatred for Donald Trump, the hatred for the fact that he wants to clean the streets, get rid of the criminals, and make America great again, they're organizing these protests to distract the government from the real task of keeping the world safe. So when all these wars start, and civil war starts in America, don't you think the PNC and the Win people will try to hijack Guyana? They will. This is why you find Norton is pushing his nose up. Because if all of these things happen, these countries would be distracted. Guyana would not be that safe as it should be. The Nortons and the Win people, they are going to conspire with the terrorists to try to destabilize Guyana. So I'm asking Guyanese again, Don't be distracted. Don't give these evil people traffic. Turn your eyes, your ears away from them and stand in solidarity with your government, with President Ali, the PPP Civic, and the good citizens of Guyana. Keep yourself safe, report any suspicious activity, and don't be a part of no conspiracy against your country. You love Guyana, we love Guyana. Fuck the PNC, let Ajudin and his father go where they belong. It's good for the country when they're out. Gone, baby, gone. That's the thing. I am the voice you need to trust. I have your best interests at heart. My profile, my pages, my videos, my platform, you need to subscribe. You need to share, empower it, make your comments, talk about your issues on my feed. Don't trust the others. They don't have your interests at heart. Even the Afro Guyanese, I'm telling you. You can trust me more than you should trust Aubrey Norton or David Hines. They're the ones telling you lies. They're the ones who are hijacking your emotions. They're the ones who are playing with your future. I'm not. I have your best interests at heart. This is why I'm telling you to stand with progress, stand with prosperity. I want people to stop putting blacks in the position they're putting them as lazy and nasty. I want that to stop. But how could that stop if you keep listening and following people like Smelly Smell, Norton, and the PNC? They don't have your interests at heart. The PPP wants to make black people great again. Look how many black officials, ministers are in the PPP government. How many Indians were in the PNC government? How many? The only party that represents Guyana as a national sovereign nation is the People's Progressive Party. President Ali has the interests of all Guyanese. You see another massive hotel just opened. You think those hotel chains and those franchises are going to invest in Guyana if they didn't trust the president or trust the government? That's how you get investors. Investors come when they see a stable economy, when they see security, when they see growth. That's when they come. And all those hotel chains that are coming in Guyana, it means tourism. Foreigners will come. You think Guyanese are going to leave their house to go stay at the Marriott? It's the people who come from different countries that will be vacationing in Guyana will take rooms at these hotels. And for tourists to come, they see a need. They want to get to know the country. So they come. Every year or 6 months, you have a massive hotel, massive this, massive that, because Guyana is now the hub. Businesses want to come because we have a good king. We have a good king, we have a good leader, we have a good president. Irfan Ali. Everybody loves him. The world loves him. People want to run away from Europe and they want to come to Guyana because it's safer to invest. The profit is sure. Growth is there. And when these people come, they hire Guyanese. Guyanese are hired. Guyanese have a future. Guyanese have job security. So we have to keep pushing and selling the narrative that our country is safe for everyone. But if you keep pushing the agenda of the other side, you're making your country look bad. Investors wouldn't want to come. We have to be the gatekeepers of our country and stand behind the good things that's happening. Stand with your president. Stand with your government. I love all my citizens. I am talking about the actions of the blacks. I want the blacks to be better. Stop the crime. Stop the lawlessness. Stop the ghetto behavior. Go to school, get a job, start a business. That's what I want to see. That's it. You do that and you don't give me content. I have to talk about something else. And ultimately, I want to see the death penalty back in the country. Bring back the death penalty. Kill them niggas who are killing people. It's as simple as that. So, for all the persons who want to continue to support what I do, you can go to the description. You see my Zelle account is there. You can make your donations to the Zelle account. If you don't have that and you would like to do it via Western Union or MoneyGram, the information is also there. You send it, you send me a text message on my WhatsApp number, say, hey, I've sent you this love gift or this donation. I'm grateful, I'm thankful for that. I know Guyanese are cheap. I'm cheap too. But Guyanese need to be cheap because they're saving for greatness. But don't keep away your donations from me because you want to go to some Shabba Ranks show or some Beanie Man show or some Morgan Heritage show. And no, if you're taking on donation from me because you want to save to build a house or to buy land or to buy a vehicle or to study, then fine. Bless you. But don't take from me to buy a sneakers or some Chinese or go to some Lady Saw or some Nicki Minaj or what's the other one name? Something like that. No, God don't like that. I'm being funny. But anyway, I appreciate your support. But let's stand with the Americans because the Americans have our back. The Americans love Guyana. Donald Trump loves President Irfan Ali. And we are safe when we support those who support us. Fuck you again, Norton. Slavery was abolished. You should go back into hiding, Norton. You will not be opposition leader ever again. The Rastafarian woman, she's going to be opposition leader, not you, Aubrey Norton. So don't refer to yourself as opposition party. The opposition party is the win party, not you. Goodbye now.